they may have
fasting all day long. So I go to the doctor's office, give them a urinalysis, and then 10 minutes later, I haven't had anything to eat or drink. They want me to give another one. I couldn't get enough urine to fill the specimen cup at the lab, so then I didn't get that one done.
God dang.
Okay. All right, so Kenneth, I'll share with you my.
I know. I was thinking.
I'll share with you and Alex my show notes I'm going to start off with.
Okay.
So, after our usual introductions, I'm just going to say that this is the second Monday in a row that we're recording with you guys remotely because of my horrible allergies and you guys being on the road. I'm going to talk a little about our bathroom tile debacle that we've been facing the last few days. Touch a little bit on that this is inauguration week and there are 20,000 troops that are stationed around the U.S. Capitol and civilians aren't even allowed near the premises. I'm also going to talk about some bad movies that I've watched this week. 2 of them are anime, and one of them is called Llamageddon. and then, yeah, we didn't talk about Llamageddon last week, did we? I don't think we did. No, we didn't. No. We didn't. That's right. And then I actually got cast for another voice role for a community project from Casting Call Club. I'm going to be. It's a playthrough with voices and scored music of the original Dragon Quest game that came out for the NES and then re-released for the mobile devices.
Some bullshit.
And then finally, I'm going to touch on LucasArts formally changing their name and relaunching as Lucasfilm Games as a single basically software company that all Star Wars related games are going to be released under.
Yeah, you heard that EA lost its exclusive rights to Star Wars, right?
Well, I didn't hear that officially, but I'm wondering if that happened because their contract actually had 2 more years.
I saw it officially.
Okay. Well,
there's a date and everything where they lose their exclusive rights.
Okay, well that makes sense because I wonder if they moved it up or if they just terminated it because it was supposed to be for 10 years with EA.
That's why Epic released it.
For exclusive publishing rights.
Was able to release it at least.
Yeah. Anyway, but then I just figured that would be a perfect segue for you to talk about Battlefront 2.
Cool.
And then Shelly, what conspiracies are you going to talk about today, or what stories specifically?
I'm talking about a 12-year-old.
Oh yeah, the 12-year-old with DJ in the school bathroom.
A rave in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The guy a guy who injected mushrooms into his bloodstream.
Oh yeah, bloodstream. That's right.
And I'm trying to find a conspiracy theory real fast.
I'm wrong.
Okay.
EA did not lose exclusive rights to the license. That's what I just read.
Okay. Yeah, that was the only part I was wondering about.
When I read that, I was like really excited.
Are you going to talk about Ubisoft and LucasArts partnership?
Oh, for the new Indiana Jones game?
I thought that was
No, wait, that's Bethesda and no, not Bethesda. Machine Works, I think. The same company that did the Wolfenstein games that developed them.
There's talks for Ubisoft going to make an open world Star Wars game.
Yeah, I'm reading right here. EA, more Star Wars projects from EA underway despite Ubisoft's massive game.
Okay, yeah, we can touch on that after during the Lucasfilm Games part, right before we segue into Battlefront 2.
It's an open world Star Wars game.
Okay. Okay, hold on.
Have I talked about the conspiracy about how the United States was just bred for hunting for the elite people?
No.
Okay.
Which that actually, okay, I'll save that, but that brings to mind the movie Hostel. But I'll save it for when we actually do go live.
We should rename Stump the Robotuner to the Idiots Try to Beat Robotuner.
No. I'm not trying to call anyone's...
Leave me alone.
insult anyone's intelligence. I like Stunt the Rubber 200. I'm gonna grab one of those A&Ws because I'm thirsty, and I haven't had one of those today.
Hey, how are you? I see no high back. Offended.
What?
I said, I see how it is. No high back. I'm offended.
Okay.
Hey, honey, later you want to watch a little Cheech and Chong?
Corsican Brothers. Yellowbeard.
Corsican?
Whatever.
I'm just playing
however
with you,
say it.
baby.
What's Cheech and Chong?
I know there's no
Cheech
way in
and
hell
Chong?
that you'd ever smoke marijuana.
This kid called Corsican Brothers? I don't know about that one.
Is this
What?
like a competition tonight? Did you
I've only
see
listened
who
to
gets
one of
the
their
most
albums, and it was a
trouble?
wedding album.
No, there's no
Heather
doubt
had it
about
on
that.
vinyl, and then I copied it on cassette tape. I used to listen to it all the time, and my sophomore and junior years.
Did I talk
Goddamn
about the
man.
biggest conspiracies of
Why not? That's
2020?
Yeah, why didn't you tell
Yeah.
me I was at fuel?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Hello, chat room. Nobody yet. Oh. Oh.
I wonder if you're allergic to something on my dog. Not necessarily my dog, but on my dog.
Who?
Because your allergies seem to have gone away with the dog. It
No,
seems to
he's
come
been
around when the dog's
sneezing.
there.
He's been sneezing all day.
Well, today I didn't take any allergy medicine, and I didn't sneeze until I started cooking.
How's your soup, mommy?
What?
How's your soup, mommy?
Really good.
USA.
Going all
USA.
over myself.
You would say, okay.
You gonna clean off this area and sit next to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Is it worth it to file for unemployment if it's only for a week asking for a friend?
Yes. You pay that shit in, you better reap it back.
Yeah.
You want to hear some shit?
Sure.
I got a bunch of emails today because someone hacked my unemployment again.
Again? This is what, the third time?
Why did you deactivate your account?
I did.
Who just looks at you and says, yeah, I'm gonna hack that guy?
Anybody?
Free money from the government.
Did you
Somebody
guys
else's expense.
Did you guys know that James Earl Jones turned 90 yesterday?
Yeah, I was surprised about that.
Are there sodas over there?
Diet Pepper and Diet 7 Up.
I don't care which one. I just want something.
Yeah, she wants some.
She wants something.
No, she wants some.
Oh, I haven't heard this one. This is a good one.
I'm gonna have to put my earbuds. I can't do this.
Okay.
What?
So there's
That's what they
five.
said at me. I can't.
There's 5 conspiratory
Okay,
theories
we'll stop
going
talking
around.
about
Number
Okay.
1, 5G is what created the spread of coronavirus.
That's funny. All right, next.
QAnon goes mainstream. It says a disproven conspiracy theory involving an alleged global child sex trafficking ring, which has not been disproven. It is global. So I don't know why this is saying a disproven conspiracy theory. They arrested a shit ton of people in 2018 or 19
Well, it started with the Me Too movement, yeah, and
in
then
Hollywood.
yeah, and don't forget Nexium. You know about that, right?
And in Germany
Next
and
thing they're
China.
going to tell us is Epstein really did hang himself.
Hold on, let's see. A rigged presidential election.
Mm,
That's a
That-
conspiracy theory.
there are way too many of those about the election itself.
I'm not going to bring up the election one,
Oh, one
but
second.
there's supposed to be 5. No, there's only 3. The
Oh.
fuck?
What the fukara?
I had these today.
Oh, there's 3. I'll just do the
Fukara
2.
man.
The coronavirus one and the sex trafficking ring. I'm just going to say, and the QAnon. Those are the ones I'm going to bring up.
Okay.
All right, and then Stump the Robotuna.
Who
Yeah.
said you can make yourself get a spoon?
I would be careful around the QAnon one though.
Oh, it's just saying that some of them are sane and some of them are completely nuts and crazy.
Why? Do you know any members, Kenneth?
Hey,
No,
don't
I'm
mess
just-
with
it's
Kenneth.
It's one of those right-wing talking points that I'm not saying that they are right-wing, but they classified them as right-wing talking points.
And if you're on that website, you can get marketed.
Okay.
The last thing we want is to get hit by the YouTube algorithm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I
Which
didn't think
one?
about it from that angle.
The what algorithm?
Yeah.
Just don't mention it in the header.
All right, Alex, like...
They go over the sound bites of the entire show.
I just won't say QAnon.
It's like canon.
That's probably a good idea. People often, put tokens in place of words like that. Instead of saying COVID-19, they say the poof pandemic.
Or the crown illness.
Or you have to stay away from words like riot or violence or
Okay. Well, are you guys ready to start? Because it's a little after 7.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm waiting on you guys.
Alex, are you on camera? I can't see the feed because the screen's taken up with the chat.
I am not on camera, but I will be in 5 seconds.
All right.
5, 4, 3,
Not literally 5 seconds.
2, 1. Liar.
Oh,
Don't be so literal, Matt Thomas.
I wasn't counting. Your dad was.
He was calling
Yeah,
his
Matt.
dad Matt Thomas.
Oh.
Matt. The hell.
I
Yeah,
love
Matt,
how
what
our
the heck, bro?
I love how the sarcasm in this family. No one knows how to interpret each other's sarcasm. So we all misunderstand what each other is saying.
We're all getting like mad at each other, like, why'd you say that? And we're like, we
I
meant
was-
it for the other person, dummy.
God dang it, we're sarcastic
God dang it.
people. Learn the sarcasm.
It's a shitocracy. All right.
It's all part and parcel to the shitocracy.
Yes. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2.
My
Wine-
butt stinks.
Wine bottle.
The following audio program contains mature content, including offensive language. Listener discretion is advised.
Play the radio. Make sure the kids hear words.
You're talking to the guy that remembers everything.
Remember that time we butt fucked? I don't feel okay with that. I really don't. Robotator's a loser.
You know, I'm not even saying anything anymore.
Why? Or maybe it's just I'm hogged up on caffeine. And
Because y'all get on to me for even saying anything. I'm done.
No,
I'm done.
I
I'm
didn't.
done.
You're supposed to fight back. Look.
I feel like you have a boner right now.
I don't.
The land of Fujiwa is a shitocracy.
First and foremost, I am not fucking RoboTuner.
Robo, fuck you.
That would be so tender.
Oh my
Number
God.
one.
That's the play for a stripper to just go, oh yeah, I listen to all of them all the time.
Why did the stripper turn to Matt
So where's the
Thomas?
stripper from?
Thomas, is that you, man?
I thought it was genius, RoboTuner. You did a fantastic job.
It is. I thought that I just wanted some money so I could buy some pop screen filters.
You dress up well, Thomas, man. I didn't know you were into this.
You little LARPer, you.
Someone shoot me. I have to live with him.
All these podcasts in my feed, but something's wrong. Not a single one I follow, they sing their own theme song. Now I have my own, and I really must say, please offer us advertisement so we can do this for pay. Do this for pay. Back in 2015, just a desktop and 2 mics. We found it hard on social media to get any likes. Then we got new equipment and the world was much more fun. 3 years had gone by, now our studio is done. RoboTuner, master of debacle, sitting at the helm.
Sushi keeping Matt in check, true ruler of this realm.
Thunder K shocking both their asses into gear.
Alex the intern. Why am I even here?
We're glad that you have joined for this occurrence of our show. We can't think of lyrics for this part, so here we go. The song is almost over, starting at last. Broadcasting from the dungeon at Castle Fujiwa's RoboTuner's Insignificant Podcast. Occurrence. 100 And 18 for Monday, January 18th, 2021. In the year of the domesticated bovine animal that is used in manual labor in several countries.
What the fuck was that? That's RoboTuner's mating call.
That's the one sound effect I didn't have queued beforehand because Thunder Case.
Horny sushi?
No.
They do have a mating call, though. I did read up on that. You know, man, this is fucking hard to find any kind of entertaining bits to open up our show about the ox. They're very few and far between.
I gave you all kinds of gold, and you just shit upon it.
I did not shit upon it. In fact, I noted it.
You know
And in
what?
fact, if worse come, hold
You
on.
could bring up the Oregon Trail. You know, that's one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got to find like what 48 more weeks of work.
If anything, I'll just start to make my own folklore about ox.
You're gonna have to adopt your own oxes.
And the animal that I cuddle up to when it's cold outside.
The animal that sleeps next to me.
Yeah. Well, greetings, RoboTuner, coming at you from the dungeon and Castle Fujiwa, back again with that low-budget podcast style for your listening enjoyment, amusement, disgust, or all of the above. Take your pick. Joining me once again, across the table from me, is my existing romantic life partner, Sushi.
Yep. Here I am.
And then we have the return of the Mac, Thunder K.
I'm here.
Yep.
Present.
And then we have, also joining us remotely, sitting next to him, is Alex the intern.
I feel like I should get up and do a jig.
A jig?
A jig.
Dance a jig?
It's like you're a 20s black and white movie star.
Yeah, right.
Charlie Chaplin.
Ragtime music dancer, yeah. Yeah, so this is the second week in a row we have decided to record on a Monday. Yesterday, we decided to pike it for a day because Sushi, Alex, and Thunder K were all on the road and were pretty tired from being on the road because they went down to visit their mother's house for the weekend.
Wait. What was the real reason, RoboTuner?
I didn't say that was all.
Okay.
And I had the worst allergy attack last night that I've had in quite a while. I was sneezing so much, my muscles hurts were aching last night, and I just couldn't bring myself to. My eyes were swollen, and I had a really bad sinus pressure up in my head. And this is on top of me taking 2 antihistamine, Claritin, and then diffusing oils and applying the same oils twice underneath my nose and my sinus cavities.
Well, did you try sitting in the backyard naked with crystals?
Or exposing my anus to the sunlight? No, I did not.
That doesn't work.
Yeah.
No, the anus thing.
Wait. You didn't try the Vicks vapor rub on your anus?
No, because I didn't say I had diarrhea or a chafed tassel. It works for that, but. And then I don't use Vicks vapor rub underneath my nose unless I have a stopped up nose.
He switches fingers, just FYI.
Well, and of course I wash my hands.
One for the booty hole and one for his nose.
Sometimes he uses both of them and gets all mixed up.
Gross. Or maybe I should just keep 2 jars. One says booty hole, one says nose.
So gross. You're so gross.
It works, though. It really does. And I actually have Matt Stubbs to thank for it because he's the one that gave me the suggestion.
Yay.
Well, his issues are a lot worse than mine because he has butt tulips.
Ladies
You
out there.
think that Matt Stubbs is on the other end of this going, that fucker fell for it?
You know, ladies out there, you wonder what guys talk about. That's the shit that guys talk about.
No pun intended.
Come on, Thomas, man. Put some Vicks vapor rub on your asshole. It fix everything. It's like Windex.
Yeah, put some Windex on it. We'll put some Tussin on it. That's what Chris Rock used to say in his stand-up in the 90s. Putting Tussin on it just solves everything. Yeah, but I'm just glad I'm just glad that my allergies weren't bothering me as bad as they had been the other day. Otherwise, how was your trip? Your actual trip, not your visit, but your actual trip back up here, as far as like driving and traffic and whatnot.
I thought it was great.
Normal?
The weather was nice. It wasn't too cold. It was sunny. There wasn't a whole lot of traffic. Shelly drives way too fast.
Oh my god, yes. And she changes lanes like every 5 seconds.
Hold on. Okay, let's talk about it. You know what, Kenneth? I'm sorry, Thunder K. I got behind you, and you did the same thing. And the only reason we switched lanes, Alexander, when you learn how to drive the right way, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Is because it's a passing lane, and you can't be in the passing lane for long periods of time unless you're passing a car. So if you're trying to pass a big long truck, you have to weave out from behind the truck and then weave back in front. Yeah, it was.
Mini Coopers. It was freaking sedans. It was everything but a freaking 18-wheeler.
No, it was 18-wheelers too, and you have to do that. You have to.
All I gotta say is, before I was following you, I was averaging about 85 miles an hour, and when I got behind you, you were going 100.
I don't know what you're talking
Mom
about.
would have saw your phone. She'd have kicked your ass.
I was not going 100. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
I've never seen you go.
I have a Kia
100.
Soul. I can't drive 100.
And especially with
100.
Whatever.
And especially since your vehicle was completely occupied too, not only with passengers but with cargo as well, luggage and whatnot.
You can't talk, Matt. You weren't there.
You need to get your speedometer checked if you think I was going 100.
Yeah, I can talk. I can say whatever the hell I want to, and that's based on what Shelly or so it's Sushi had told me.
Sushi the fibberer.
I'm not fibbing.
The damn liar. Is that what you mean? Oh, speaking.
Even her mom calls her a damn liar. That's how you know she's a damn liar.
Speaking of which, I heard that someone in your family, not naming the actual relation, actually said that to your mom and got slapped in the face.
That is true. That is very true.
It wasn't that hard.
Well, that little titty baby thought it was.
I'm still laughing about that now.
Matt likes it when that particular person gets smacked.
Robotuna.
I bet Robotuner likes hitting him too.
Probably. He probably sneaks in his room after he's asleep and just goes to town.
No, I'm not that mean.
Yeah. Don't do the dishes. Watch this.
Actually, yeah.
He's like, why do I wake up with bruises all over my face?
Damn, man. Stop it, Robotuner!
Jesus.
I gotta get up in the morning.
Yeah, he's got to. Anyway, so amidst the traveling that the three of them did this weekend, meanwhile I was coordinating the completion of a project that Sushi and I have had for the last 5 months now, which is our bathtub. I've decided to just bite the bullet and hire somebody to do the tiles on the bathtub walls. We have them primed and the boards up for them to be applied to, and all the materials. I just figure it'll be easier to hire somebody rather than cut those big ass tiles and attempt to do it ourselves. So I actually had somebody that actually came out on Sunday to begin the job yesterday morning. So I coordinated this with him on Friday, and pardon me, I'll try to speak as briefly as this is because this is my bitch session. So I spoke with him on Friday and confirmed I wanted to hire him for his services, and he said that his first available day would be Sunday, and I'm like, oh great, so he can get here on Sunday, and hopefully by today or tomorrow he'd be completely done. We'd be able to use a bathtub again, with Shelly getting first dibs, of course. That was the deal. Anyway, so I set up the date with him, and he asked what time could I when's the earliest I could start. I said preferably no earlier than 10 a.m. And then he said, is it okay if I come over and start at 8 so I can get an early start? And he said that only because the sun goes down earlier and I have a lot of cuts I have to make. And I said, okay, that's fine. I mean, I'll make the sacrifice. I'll wake up early on Sunday if it really wants to. What the heck was that? Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. If he really wants to start that early, so I set my alarm to wake up on Sunday, and before that though, he asked me to provide him the names and pictures of all the materials that we had. So this is when I start to get just a little irritated because we already have enough grout and, in my opinion, enough concrete or mortar for the actual tiles to be placed on the walls, right? So I sent him pictures of what we had, and he said, well, I actually don't he said, I actually recommend to use the dry stuff, and I'll need 2 more bags of that, and I prefer to use sanded grout, which what we had was just the premixed stuff, which is in a plastic can. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll get these if this is what you really prefer. So I went to Home Depot and got that stuff. And then Sunday morning comes. I got up at 7 a.m., had my coffee, try to get dressed and try to make myself presentable. And then about 10 minutes to 8, I get a text from the guy. He said, hey, it's probably going to be closer to 8:30 before I get there. And I'm like, well, it's like after he already was insistent on getting there and starting at 8. And I'm like, okay, fine. It's probably just running behind, whatever. And then at 8:30, he says, I'm about 10, 15 minutes behind. So he finally shows up at 8:45. It's a really young dude, probably no older than 25, that I've been dealing with at this point. And the only other person he's accompanied with is his dad. So apparently the two of them are in business together. And he just does the communication between with the customers and whatnot for the estimates and all that. So I showed him the bathroom. I showed him where the tiles were, all the materials. Showed him, and he said, "Okay." He said, "So we'll assess here and we'll get started shortly." So I go back into the den, start playing Jedi Fallen Order for the second time playthrough, actually, because it's that good of a game. For about 10 minutes, I'm playing this game. And then he calls for me. And then this is when things start to go south, in my opinion, because he said, unfortunately, looks like we're going to have to do more labor before we can actually put up the tiles. And I asked him, what do you mean? He said, well, first thing he said is that we didn't use the right type of cement board for the tiles to be attached to. The stuff that we had on there was a 1/4 inch thick, which in our opinion should work. And he said, well, I really prefer for it to be 1/2 inch thick, which means that you're also going to have to get 2 new pieces of trim that are thicker to fit it. And he said and he said that part of the drywall would have to be cut away. And basically, he told me that everything we did at this point on the walls was wrong. And he was not going to work on it to attach the tiles the way that it was. So he basically made me a laundry list of what he would need to his quote unquote standards. And I said, all right, I said, I'll talk with my girlfriend when she comes back. I'll let you know. So I share this with Sushi and my irritations, and she flips her lid.
Well, I mean, it's just like any job. Nobody's going to like what we did because they didn't do it, and they're going to try and get more money out of you, unless you've just got someone who'll just come and do the job.
Exactly.
We just wanted someone to just come and do the job and not complain.
Yeah, and that's what this guy was doing. He's trying to get more money out of us for labor.
If it falls apart, if it leaks behind the wall, it's our fault because it's our materials. We just wanted someone to put it up. We want, really and truly, I just need someone to cut the tiles. I'll freaking put it up. I don't care.
Right. Yeah, so anyway, after discussing this with Sushi, I texted him back. And I said, I've decided not to hire you. And then he point blank asked me why. And he's like, we can work something out. And I let him have it. I said, you were not willing to start the job with the materials that we had with the way things as were. And you basically told us what we did was wrong and said you would only work on it if we provided this stuff. And I'm not sacrificing any more of my time to undo what I've already done just so you can do it your way. And I said, I'm not negotiating with you anymore at this point. Good luck, and I bid you farewell. And then I blocked him because I didn't want to hear any more of his shit.
Boom.
Yeah. So at this point, we actually have a different guy coming out tomorrow who actually gave us a little bit cheaper of an estimate, and hopefully he won't give us the same kind of shit that this guy did.
We didn't go with him because he gave us the cheaper estimate, but I'm almost at a point where when he walks in the door, I'm gonna be, look, I'm not gonna hold you accountable for what we've already done. I just need you to put tiles on the wall. That's it.
Yeah.
And I just need you to do it the way I want you to do it, and be done with it.
Yeah.
Thunder K, do you have anything to say? You got something you want to say?
No.
You
No.
sounded like, and your letter, your little note you threw up there on the screen, looked like you had something you wanted to say.
I don't know what are you referring?
What letter?
The one that said "Help us SOS."
It's not in the YouTube chat, so.
Oh, it is. It's in the YouTube video.
Oh,
what we're talking about.
See, I can't see the video right now because we have the chat
Yeah,
screen
well, I'm watching
ticking
the
up.
video.
Oh, okay.
So there's that.
Weird. I don't know what she's talking about.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Oh, weird.
Well, even if it happened, I can't witness it because I don't have.
I would never interrupt RoboTuner on purpose.
You know what? We need. You know what we need to do? We need to set up the video over here.
Oh, that.
Because that's what do we do with that TV? Nothing.
Yeah, well, you're right. We don't do anything with that TV. After all that trouble I took to put it up.
Yeah. So let's put the video so Thunder
Yeah, we
K
could.
and Alex the intern can't pull a shenanigans.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, we're just being
Oh, you
normal
mean
over here.
you mean when they're remote like they are today?
Yeah, like throwing up letters saying "Help us SOS."
No, you read that wrong. It says we love RoboTuner.
See, that's what it said.
Okay, I want to.
And they should love me because I created this platform for us to all come together and be creative on.
Why is she thinking when we're doing things wrong?
It says, "Hell, this is a super optimistic son of a bitch." Is what it says.
All right, so enough about the tile. Yeah, like I mentioned, I hope this guy tomorrow just installs it so we can be done with it and start using our bathtub. So, this is a very.
I didn't even get to see Alex eat through the entire first part of the video, which I thought was really gross.
It was pretty hot.
Yeah.
I'm sure all the ladies out there in
Yeah, seeing the
YouTube
cheese
land.
go down my beard, that was my favorite part.
YouTube or podcast land.
Yep.
Speaking of what, I just want to mention this really quickly. I looked at our stats in Anchor. Did you guys know that our #1 listening state for all of our occurrences since we switched platforms a year ago is not Texas? It's Ohio, Columbus, Ohio.
Who's watching us in Columbus, Ohio?
I have no idea. I don't have any friends in Columbus, Ohio, that I know of.
You know what it is?
What?
It's somebody who's diverting their IP address, so we don't know who's watching.
That could be, but you know, I
Those are
don't
my
use
conspiracy theories.
I
That's
don't
what it
use
is.
any of those VPNs. I know you can switch countries and regions so you could watch stream shows that aren't available on major platforms that aren't
They're
available in the
probably all
U.S.
from Texas, and they're using a VPN tunnel.
That's why I'm saying I know you can switch countries. I don't know if you can switch states or
You know what
cities.
I think they're using their VPN tunnel to go to Ohio.
You can switch states.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Because I can with mine.
Yeah, because.
But you know what? Maybe we do have a great following in Ohio, and one day we're gonna go to Ohio for some weird reason, and everybody's gonna go, "Oh, it's RoboTuner."
Well, you and Alex went. Well, it was really for Alex's school band function to Dayton, Ohio, back in 2019.
Yeah.
But our show was still on hiatus then.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry. Damn, it's the first sneeze I've
come
had in a
on.
while.
We're working with amateurs here. Don't sneeze on a podcast.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Well, what's wrong?
Thy name is Alex. Mr. Cheesebeard.
I don't know.
Cheesebeard, yeah. Use your manners.
I need to find a name for me and my beard.
Cheesebeard.
Well, because first off, first I'm the Dread Pirate Nipple Beard. Now
That
I'm
was
Cheesebeard.
nipple.
Yeah.
That's
Pick a name.
nipple beard.
Nipple beard.
Well, that's your pirate name is Dread Pirate Nipplebeard, and
Nipple dumb.
your on-stage name could be Cheesebeard.
Cheesebeard.
All right, so this is an important week. Well, today, as I hadn't mentioned earlier is the historic human rights activist occasion of celebratory known as Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Which I don't remember why today was named after him. Was it was today his birthday, or was it the day that he was assassinated?
I think it's his birthday.
Every time this holiday comes up, the song by U2, Pride in the Name of Love, goes through my head because it was actually somewhat about him. Oh, no, that's right. April 4th was the day he died, according to, early morning April 4th, shot rang out in the Memphis sky. Yeah, because he was assassinated in Memphis.
His true birthday is the 15th.
15th of January?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it looks like we always observe MLK on a Monday.
It's always on a Monday.
Yeah, just like Thanksgiving's always observed on a Thursday. Yeah. Makes sense. And then Mother and Father's Day is always observed on a Sunday for the respective months, May and June.
Your face is observed on a Sunday.
Well, yeah, because that's the day that we do our live stream on YouTube. So, of course, it's observed.
That's why.
Except for the past 2 weeks.
Well, last week because... Yeah, last week, no, because of the stupid upload issues we had, which aren't an issue anymore, strangely.
We're still having issues, so I don't care what you say.
Well, we're not having any issues on the stream. That's why I'm saying the upload. Sending information out, not getting information in.
Sushi.
What?
Maybe you're the issue, Sushi.
Maybe I am.
I don't see how she is. So, I want to talk a little bit about some bad movies that we've seen in the last week. Well, actually, one of them that Sushi and I saw, and then the other two are anime that I saw. I'll touch on the animes first briefly. So, back in the 1980s, whenever anime was still basically underground, and there were only a handful of companies that actually localized and localized anime from their respective holders in Japan. So the quality, the amount of quality as far as script writing and voice acting varied significantly back then. Actually, even back in the 60s with Speed Racer. I could say that. Anyway, so I watched two movies that came out in two anime movies that came out and were localized and dubbed in English in the 80s. One of them, it was actually my second time to watch. It was called Demon City Shinjuku. And this one I think came out in 1986. The plotline, the movie's pretty short itself, but I watched it on double speed play. Because it was that bad. So basically, it's about this dude who walks around with a wooden katana, and he's a student. His dad actually was a demon fighter who got killed by the Demon King of Japan or something like that, and he basically enslaved the entire district of Shinjuku to be overrun with demons, and then he was going to do a sacrifice to have demons take over in the entire world. It's, similar cliche plot line that you've heard several times before. So his son, who's the main character, meets this chick with actually, first off, the main character has a New York accent. And mind you, this all takes place in Japan. The main character has a New York or northern Yankee accent, right? And then this chick that he meets just out of nowhere has a British accent. And then they meet one of the minor characters in the movie who's like this little person dude who glides around on motorized roller skates and throws grenades at demons and shit. He has a Hispanic accent. And then there's another dude who's a demon fighter named Mephisto who also has a Spanish accent. I mean, the dialogues and the accents and the dialogue really doesn't make much sense in the game. Not in the game, but in the movie. And it's just laughably bad. I really don't know what else to say about it. And then so was the second one I watched. It's called Garaga, Garaga, almost like garage except ending in an A. And this was a really bad sci-fi anime movie. It's about a crew of a ship of like maybe 7 people or so. They go through a black hole and crash land on an alien planet. But the voice acting is so overdone. Like anytime they had just really over the top fight scenes, especially between two of the chicks in there, they're just like ah. I could provide better voice acting than them. Anyway, I actually skipped through about maybe 15, 20 minutes of that one total because the plot line was just so slow and so dumb. I really don't. It was just one of those that's laughably bad that you would have to watch yourself, and it's very riff-worthy as well. Yeah. So, those two I got out of the way, but I wanted to also talk about the bad movie that Sushi and I watched called Llamageddon.
This was my fault.
I don't really think it was your fault.
It was.
I wanted to watch it too.
I was like, hey, babe, let's watch this terrible movie. I know it's going to be bad. Let's do it. And you were like, yeah.
Well, yeah, because we watched Velocipaster, and that was an intentionally bad movie, and so was this one. So, yeah, Llamageddon takes place in the city of Eaton, Ohio. Speaking of Ohio, again. And it actually started off as a college project in which the people that wrote and directed it actually did a crowdfunder and got up enough of the budget to include practical special effects and animated and CGI. Just very badly done animated CGI, but the premise is an alien llama leaves its planet, wherever it is, in a spaceship that looks just like a fucking trailer that animals are towed in. Yeah, and it has wings. It makes it look like one of those, I guess, radio flyer wagons. It's like 1950s style, I would have to say, from the way it was designed. So this llama and its vessel, quote unquote, / trailer, crash lands on the planet Earth, right next to a farm in Eaton, Ohio. It emerges. What? It emerges from the ship, and the first thing you notice is that it has bright red eyes. And so the first thing that happens is that the farm that the llama lands on, it immediately kills both the husband and wife that run it because it has lasers, explosive lasers that emit from its eyes. And that's how it kills most of its victims. And so they have the funeral and whatnot, and then you see a helicopter land with a quote-unquote government official, and it's some old dude in his 50s wearing a button-up shirt, a black tie, and freaking denim cutoff shorts. What kind of government official would you actually take seriously that emits from a helicopter and assists the situation wearing that? Anyway, and then we get to meet the main characters, which is a teenage brother and sister, and their mother just drops them off at this house, their grandparents' old house, which are the couple that got killed at the beginning of the movie, the farmer and his wife. And what's funny is that the farmer and his wife were maybe in their early 50s at the oldest, and the person that played their daughter, aka the kid's mom, looked like she was in her 60s. I'm like, what the shit? So the first thing they do is the sister invites over like 10 of her friends. They all have a fucking house party. They're all smoking up and drinking beer and all this shit. And then the llama lets loose on all of them, mostly killing them by either shooting them to death with its explosive lasers that emit from its eyes, by trampling on them with what are clearly fake llama legs and hooves that you can tell are just stomping on the characters with a good 6 inches between them, or they're just stomping them on the sides. of them on the camera shots. And then it also spits very highly sulfuric acid, which can melt your skin. Oh, and one of them also gets mutated into a were-llama and gives birth to 15 or 20 llamas, but no, not as a mammal would. And this is a dude, by the way. He lays alien llama eggs.
Yep.
No
alien
shit.
Llama, furry alien llama eggs, like 15 of them.
Yeah. And one of the most memorable lines of this movie is before all that happens and the party's still going on. One of the dudes says, with the bong, says, "Hey, pass it over here. I'll pack a bowl for you." And and he literally just sits there looking at the camera for a good 5 seconds, just frozen. Not a freeze frame, but him just like freezing, just so people can hysterically laugh at this horrible joke he made. Anyway, and then
it was a terrible movie.
Yeah, and
I think it was one of the worst ones I've ever seen.
They even hired a rapper to write the theme song for it, which they played it during the ending credits. And get this, it has a sequel called Alpacalypse, which is also on Prime.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be watching that one though.
I will not be watching that one.
I may watch it by myself, like I did those horrible anime movies.
I really feel like my aunt did this to us.
Oh.
Because she watched Santa Jaws.
Santa Jaws? Well,
and that's what. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's what brought up the suggestions? What is it? What? Are they holding up signs again?
Yes, they're being ridiculous.
Oh, of course they are. That's what this show's all about. Let them be ridiculous. As long as they aren't showing their genitalia on camera, I'm fine. Anyway.
All right. Alex, put it away.
I'm sorry.
He drew the line. They can't cross it.
Yeah, this
Sorry,
is.
I had a big whole plan.
Yeah, this is YouTube, not OnlyFans. Come on. Say that for your own OnlyFans.
Wait, as opposed to your OnlyFans?
My OnlyFans redirects here.
I don't have any
to YouTube.
His OnlyFans
except for
shows him the real.
I have a couple of fans.
You
but
have
I don't
Susie.
Have any OnlyFans.
And Scott.
But I don't
ATX.
have any OnlyFans. I don't because I
Scott.
don't have that page.
An OnlyFans account.
Yep.
I know.
Hey, we're not talking about you. We're talking about RoboTuner.
Well, I stand behind the camera.
You stand behind the camera.
That's right.
Okay.
While you do all the sexy
Oh, you mean
poses.
you would stand behind the
no,
camera?
I do.
This doesn't exist. Stop putting it out there. That it might. No one wants to see my ugly ass anyway.
I think you should create one and then just post pictures of yourself wearing a robe.
No, because the only thing that'll happen is he'll just constantly want me to give him the whoop.
The whoop.
Constantly.
So you've honestly tried to give him the shocker or give him the whoop. So in other news, I've mentioned on here that I've joined the community of voice actors through castingcallclub.com, which I've been cast for 2 roles. One I'm actually going to start recording my lines this week for. The other one, haven't heard shit on. But I just got word on Saturday that I've been cast for a 3rd role. So this is a fan dub project, which is actually a playthrough of the very first Dragon Quest game that was released on the NES and Famicom, and it was also re-released on mobile with update on mobile and iOS a couple of years ago with updated graphics. So this is basically just a playthrough with scored music, narration, and full voice acting. And my role is it's an extra. It's as one of the knights. I don't know at which castle or which area in the game because I haven't played the original Dragon Warrior in such a long time, and I don't think I ever will again because it's grind-delicious. So, as pivotal and iconic of a game that it was, that basically jump-started the RPG video game craze, that along with Final Fantasy, I would definitely watch the project once it's finished, but I just don't have any desire to play the first game start to finish again.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Yeah, but I should have my lines for that within the week or so, according to the director. I'm looking forward to that one, though. I actually didn't think that I would because the director said that she'd literally received hundreds of auditions for between all the roles that were open.
Well, I tell you, the one that you let me listen to, it was pretty good voice acting, so
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
I did a light British accent for it. So.
Would you say light British or early American?
No, light British.
Okay. It sounded early American to me.
No, I went with light British accent because, and I did that because in the most recent game, which I have, Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age, in the English dub, all the characters have British accents.
Okay.
Yeah. So just wanted to kind of, I thought it would be more appropriate for the narrative. So, at any rate, one last thing I wanted to touch on here,
He's
which
always
is actually
touching things. Always touching things.
well, I have hands, I have fingers. That's what they're used for.
Well, those aren't.
Do you not agree?
That's not the things you're always touching.
I'm always touching you.
Nope, your balls.
Mm-mm. At any rate,
Juggler.
did you say ball diddler?
Juggler.
Oh, juggler.
Diddler works better, actually.
Well,
it
I-
does. Good
I don't
job.
know if you diddle balls.
Well, I won't be able to juggle my balls
That's
probably
the
for another
balls, right?
20 years or so whenever they drop
Ugh.
beneath my knees.
Hey, you're not old until they float in the bathtub.
Whoa. Okay. Little graphic there.
Hey, you know what? You're the one that's saying he's touching his balls. Don't go all high ground on me now.
Hey, that brings up an interesting concept, though. So, you guys are familiar with the surgery that the woman can go through to have,
Facelift?
oh no, to have their cherry restored. Mind you, they're God damn it, the name escapes me at this moment. Yeah, the hymen, the hymen restored. So it makes me wonder if there's ever going to be a surgery that allows testicle
Don't say
lifting.
It. Don't say, lifting.
There is.
Yeah,
You just
testicle
take a
lifting.
staple gun and you fold the skin in on itself and
I'm sure there is. Have you looked it up?
you're also a soprano.
No, that's just the scrotum that you're operating on. It's not the testicles.
I think you're reaching, dude, because I'm telling you, there probably already is.
I'm not reaching. I'm just shooting from the hip here. That's what's great about podcasting.
That's what old people do, too.
What? Shoot from the hip?
Yep.
If their hips are in good shape, that is, and not broken.
Mhm.
That's why I worry about getting older. That's why I make sure to keep my calcium intake up.
My old boss said that shooting from the hip was bad.
Did your old boss shoot guns a lot?
No.
Is this the one you
used
used
a
to make
lot of
cartoons
analogies.
about?
Oh.
Metaphors.
Is this the one you used to make cartoons about?
Yes.
That we would laugh until we cry?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
Just
yep.
making sure.
Oh, okay.
I miss that guy. He was a fountain of material.
And now his new boss kind of sucks. His name is Kenneth Heath. Sucks.
I thought you were talking about your dad's new boss, not the fact that your dad is a boss. Anyway.
Yeah.
So the big news that I actually forgot to touch on last week, which is big in the video game industry, LucasArts, who up until their acquisition to Disney, was the sole game publisher and frequent developer for any Star Wars game. Whenever they were bought out by Disney, they basically laid off all of their development staff and publishing staff, and at that point, for lack of a better term, just became strictly a licensee, and they began their 10-year contract with EA being the exclusive publisher for most Star Wars games that were released on PC or console. I know on the mobile games, I think their publishers vary. At any rate, EA was the big one. But last week, so basically LucasArts as a video game publisher, I figured their days were completely done after their acquisition to Disney. But last week, there was a story that released that said that they are actually relaunching LucasArts as their original title, and they brought back their original logo of Lucasfilm Games, which I thought was interesting. So their concept is that they are going to be releasing any Star Wars games from this point forward underneath the Lucasfilm Games moniker. It'll be the first name that you see instead of EA, which I'm kind of excited about. And they have basically heard a lot of they've actually listened to the fans and the critics of their games that have come out, saying that all of them have like various degrees of quality across the board with very rare exceptions that seem to get a lot of praise, like Jedi Fallen Order for one. And so basically they got tired of it, so they said, okay, so wait, they still have the remainder of their contract for EA's publishing rights, but they're going to use the Lucasfilm name banner across all games, no matter what platform that they're released under. And with that, there's only a couple days after that announcement, they actually said that they're going to be releasing a Indiana Jones original game with an original story, made by MachineWorks, which is the same company that did the most recent Wolfenstein games. Which I would be pretty excited about it. I just think it's a cool. I just think it's a cool concept overall to try and repair the, somewhat of the image that the Star Wars games have had ever since Disney's acquisition of it.
I'd like to see, honestly, if they could make a game engine, we talked about this before, a game engine like Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption, and put Star Wars on a platform like that where it's completely open world.
Oh yeah.
Open planet, that would be even better. Because they're doing stuff like that. If you've ever played Space Engineers, they're going from space down to a planet. So it's possible. In fact, there was a couple of games. There was another one for Nintendo that came out where you could hop from planet to planet and then run around on the planet's surface. I would play that game. I would play a GTA type clone or a Red Dead Redemption type clone with Star Wars. That would be just amazing.
I don't think we'd ever get tired of that game.
No, you wouldn't.
I mean, if it was made well and it didn't become monotonous too quickly, I could see that happening. And the reason I say is because that was a big complaint of those that got on board with Star Wars Galaxies, because there were way too many people in that game that just wanted to be a Jedi, and there wasn't any balance.
That's what killed the franchise. But if you ever played it pre Jedi craze, before they knew how to unlock all the Jedi, that game was pretty awesome. In fact, there's a huge community right now that went back and there are Star Wars Galaxy game servers online right now where you can go back to pre Jedi times and just enjoy all the different class structures that you could have on the old Star Wars Galaxies game.
Oh, those must be independent servers because LucasArts.
They are independent.
Yeah, because
Sony
LucasArts
doesn't
shut. Because LucasArts shut down their actual official servers back in 2010 or 11 to coincide with the Old Republic.
Someone backwards engineered the Star Wars Galaxies game and is now emulating the servers. And so, you can go on there right now and play all the old Star Wars Galaxies all the way up until right before they screwed it up.
And there's a growing community of people who don't want to be Jedis. They want to be part of...
Yeah, they want to be a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Or they want to be, one of the other 5 million other player characters that you could be on there.
Yeah, so what do you think about the announcement that was also made last week that Ubisoft actually is going to be developing a new massive open world Star Wars video game, since we're talking about that?
If it's good, I would buy it in a second.
Yeah. If it's good, it would probably replace our EverQuest playing.
Hell, I'd jump on that in a heartbeat.
As long as it's not like EA where you have to buy loot boxes to get anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why Jedi.
I like the GTA, the way GTA did it, where they created this open world and they just released new content without making you charge money. You can buy money in the game, but it's not required.
Right.
But also when GTA made theirs, there's also a very good story mode that you can go through where you don't have to worry about, having to come up with your own content.
Yeah, and actually the online mode is the only mode I ever played. I just played the orientation stage because it was required before you could actually create your online character.
If Ubisoft can step in and make an open world that's as comprehensive as GTA or Red Dead Redemption, then I could totally see that game just making billions.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, so with that, I'll turn it over to you, Thunder K, which ironically, the free game of the week for the last week is
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
yes, or actually was because it's changed now. I just don't know what it is.
It
I haven't
hasn't
checked.
changed yet.
Oh, it hasn't?
It'll change this Thursday.
Oh, okay. I thought it changed every Monday.
Thursday.
Okay,
Every
got it.
Thursday. Yeah.
I'm glad it
you have
hasn't
a few
changed.
more days to get it. If you're listening to this live, if you're not, then whenever you do listen to it, if it's before Thursday, the 21st.
Yeah. Thursday's the 21st.
21st, then you should still be able to get it. And on January 21st, the game rolls over to something called Galactic Civilizations, which kind of looks to me like a Warcraft
Ooh, I'm
kind
in.
of game.
I'm in. Not World of Warcraft, Warcraft.
Wasn't StarCraft just like Warcraft except it was in space?
StarCraft was really hard to beat.
I never
if
never
you
really
look
played
at
it.
The cover art on this cover art even looks like Warcraft. It has an orc-like creature on the right and a human-like creature on the left, facing each other, just like the Warcraft box art.
Oh, sweet.
But anyway, this week is Battlefront 2 Celebration Edition, which is basically all DLCs unlocked and that kind of stuff. I've actually owned this. I've actually owned this for several years now, and it's a decent game if you like first-person shooters.
Or third person now.
Or third person. It does have a third-person mode, so Sushi could play.
Yes.
Oh yes, that's always nice.
And it does. It's basically like all the other first-person shooters, except you have Jedi. And it does have some some space scenes in it where you could fly the Millennium Falcon and X-wings and TIE fighters. But it's okay. I'm not a big first-person shooter game. That's probably more my oldest son's scene. I think Alex is more of a strategy type game person. I think your son is too, Sushi.
Oh yeah, he
likes strategy
definitely
games,
is.
but I think he also likes this one.
Yeah, he is waiting to play the game so he can play with me. I think he wants to kill me first.
Yeah.
So he's got dibs on killing me first.
That was the whole reason for us playing GTA 5 together, was so that he could kill you.
I know.
Yeah.
But we had a blast playing that game.
Yeah, we did.
We laughed, and I laughed until I peed my pants most nights.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could always tell when Shelly was getting close to us because you'd hear the Muttley laugh. And then all of a sudden you hear this. Pew!
It's just every time. We're like,
it hit the side. You're like, wow, she's a stormtrooper.
No, that was a silencer. Yeah, a silencer shot, not necessarily a stormtrooper rifle.
No, I never.
We're talking about the accuracy.
I never
okay.
hit them. Like I would shoot at them, but I would never kill them. And then
She'd
they
be
would
like,
kill
"What's
me.
wrong with this? I never could hit anything."
I know. I was so mad. I was like, why can't I ever hit anything?
That's funny.
Finally, I just gave up and I just shot everything. I didn't care.
I think you killed more people when you gave up than you did when you were trying.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that may be. I'm with you guys. I'm out on first-person shooters also, unless they have a really good storyline, or like Doom, for example. Whenever it was rebooted in 2016, I bought that. Well, yeah. Well, I didn't buy it, but I played it.
I'll play it for nostalgia reasons.
Yeah.
But like to this day, I have a hard time playing Halo.
Yeah, I'm kind of over the Halo
I used
series.
to play it with my boys. Used to get my ass kicked by my boys. Halo is when I first started to realize that I was getting old, because that was the time when my boys just completely showed me who's boss in video games.
Oh, which one though? Was it Halo 3, Halo Reach, 4?
I played Halo 1 on the original Xbox. when Alex was a baby. In fact, when midnight feedings, that's when I would play regular Halo.
Yeah, because the original came out in 2001.
Yeah, and I was feeding him while I was playing.
Yeah, my first game in the series that I played was Halo 3. Then I Reach. Then I went back and played the re-release of the first one, and then on my Xbox One, it automatically came with the Master Chief Edition, which was all 4 games. Well, actually, yeah, the 4 main games, and the first and second one were remastered graphics. Yeah.
I played Halo 1, and then I didn't play Halo 2. And then my boys came back and they were old enough to play Halo 3 with me, and they just whooped my ass.
Mm-hmm.
Here I was thinking I was a veteran coming from Halo 1, on Halo 3, and it was just 10 kills to 1. It was awful.
Yep.
I'll stick with the old man games. Where's that solitaire at?
Yeah, and the first Halo game it was actually defined as the killer app for the original Xbox because that was the first game that was released exclusively for that system that actually which actually really benefited them, in which their console purchase numbers skyrocketed shortly after its release. So it led to a lot more people buying the original Xbox over the PlayStation 2, which is what I owned at the time. I never owned an original Xbox.
What's the name of the animes we were watching today?
Oh God, I can't remember the name. The name of the first one was really hard for me to remember.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that great, to be honest.
Yeah, and then there's this other one we were on our way home from Houston yesterday, and we had gotten on the conversation about animes because my brother, he likes to show us animes, get us interested, and then walk out of the room.
Ditch us, and he's like, "Hey, don't watch that again until I come back." And so we're stuck not being able to watch the anime until he finds himself available. So
you know what? He's like me. I do that to Aunt Donna all the time. I'll sit in there and we'll watch a movie, like a TV series together, and then I walk off and I don't come back for like weeks, and because I don't watch a lot of TV, I don't really care for it. But I think the first couple of times I did that to her, she kind of got stuck, and then she was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna watch it, and if she's interested, she'll come back in here and watch it with me."
Yeah, but Justin does it all the time. He decided he wanted to watch My Hero Academia with us, so we got stuck on the last season, the beginning of the last season for like months, because he would only come in every now and again and watch an hour with us, and then have to go back. And then there was another one he started, and then finally we were just like, screw it, we're gonna watch it whether he's here or not. But so we were talking yesterday about starting a new anime because Alex is in a lull right now because he's kind of in between competitions, and so we decided to find a new one on Hulu, and he found one that was called what?
It's called Bo Fury. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense.
That's the name of the anime.
That's the complete name?
Yeah, it's about this girl who starts out on this new MMO because her friend wanted to play it.
The art style looks a whole lot like Sword Art Online.
Oh, okay.
In fact, the machine they used to go into this game looks a whole lot like the same machine that they use there. So we're kind of suspicious that this is made by the same people, but
like she starts out and she gets in. So she says she doesn't want to get hurt. So she maxed out every single one of her attribute points when she makes her character. She put into vitality. So when she started the game, she had 100 vitality and 0 of the other stats.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but it's hilarious. It's a funny anime. It's kind of wholesome and funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way I would describe it. Because we were watching one the other day, which was basically tits and ass in an anime. I mean,
this morning actually.
Borderline hentai or what?
It's like
it might as well have been. Well, let me put it this way, okay? We have this new funny catchphrase when we're watching these because we were watching Overlord, and then we switched over to this one, and Overlord has this scene where there's lizards having sex. Weirdest thing. And then this one has a scene where there's a dragon and a guy sticking a rod up the dragon's ass.
What?
The dragon is dragon born, so it turns back into a woman. But when he finds the dragon, it's in dragon's form and it's kind of stuck there because he shoves a rod up the dragon's ass. Because he said the only way you can kill a dragon is to hit him where there's no scales. So he sticks his rod up the dragon's ass.
Gives us the whoop.
She turns out to really like it.
She ends up liking this rod up her ass. So he pulls it out, and after that, she's in love with him. So we're like, oh, so I can't go through a single anime without lizard sex or dragon anal.
Oh my god, that is hilarious.
It killed me. I mean, like this is one of those animes where it makes you kind of uncomfortable to watch a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was especially with your mom or your dad in the room.
What platform is that one on? The one with the really long title. What platform is it on?
Oh, I remember the title now. Actually, I have it pulled up. It's called Ari Furita, From Commonplace to World's Strongest.
Yeah. It's a very odd one. The guy starts out like the first episode. He's fighting a bunch of monsters in a dungeon, and one of his own teammates knocks him off a bridge
on purpose,
and he ends up at the very bottom depths of this dungeon where all the most powerful creatures are, and he's a very weak guy, and he basically crawls his way out of the dungeon by eating the monsters
and creating
guns and stuff. So it's a very wild anime that I don't typically go for, but this one was just a little odd and kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah, but we also did that.
But we finished the first season, and they haven't had a second one yet.
Okay.
So that's why we switched to this new one. And I gotta tell you, the new one is if you want to watch a good anime with your kids, this one, what's it called again?
Bo Fury. I don't want to hurt myself. So
Yeah, but that's the one I thought you were talking about with the dragon getting rod shoved up his ass.
No, that was the one we watched this morning.
Okay.
That we finished. That I would not watch that with any child whatsoever.
Okay. Jeez.
Lizard sex and dragon anal. That's.
Yeah, so it's up there with Food Wars, in other words.
It's also interesting enough that anime was also made by the same people who made Overlord.
Oh, it was. That's right.
Was it?
Yeah.
So we can say that animation studio, lizard sex, and dragon anal.
Yep.
I'm really surprised that you guys haven't hit on Hitalia, for real.
It's only on Crunchyroll now. It's not on Netflix anymore. It hasn't been for years.
What about Hulu?
Hulu only has the first season.
Well, even still, they could watch the first season.
Yeah, because there's Axis Powers, World Powers, and then there was a movie.
Yeah.
We might hit that one after we're done with the one we're currently watching, because it's only got one season as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we're really kind of digging this one because it's actually pretty funny. She's kind of a airhead.
Oh yeah.
And she keeps making these decisions that just make her the most powerful person in this game. And it's so far it's just been like it's been so stupid it's funny.
Okay.
That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Completely.
Yeah. One last suggestion I have, if you guys are watching weird animes, I would suggest giving Dora Hedora a try. That's a Netflix exclusive. And yeah, that show is like way out there. It's
Dora the Explorer. Got it. Write it down.
No, not Dora the Explorer. Dora Hedoro. Yeah, Doro.
Wait,
yeah.
what about
Dora the Explorer? I got you, Matt.
the one with the panda? What's that one called?
Oh, that's
If it's panda sex.
the Danganronpa.
What is it?
What?
Agret.
Oh, Hagaretsuko?
Yeah, Agaretsuko. You need to watch that
Hagaretsuko?
one.
Oh yeah, that one's hilarious.
Dorado.
Season 4 is going to be coming out in a few months. You still need to watch season 3.
I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's. All right. So, shall we move on to sushi conspiracy theories with the Mass Effect Game Over music?
What about my news? You're just gonna skip over the news?
And the news too.
Okay.
I don't have the news. I don't have the news music though.
That's okay.
Go sushi.
Go.
So, if you want to be a good DJ, you've got to start from scratch.
Ha 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 ha.
The crickets, damn it.
So, in Manchester, there was a 12-year-old boy who DJ'd and held his own rave in the school's bathroom. Instead of, let's see, the boy's mother, Louise Bell, took the incident in stride. I had to laugh. It has been a terrible year, and I couldn't be angry with my son for trying to spread some cheer, she told the magazine. When I got the call, it made perfect sense. Cale had been up, dressed, and ready to leave for school early that morning, which was unheard of in our house. He had the biggest smile on his face, so I knew he had something up his sleeve. Louise also took to Facebook to make light of the situation, asking, "Am I wrong for finding this funny?" And you can see that he is the pictures that they posted. You can see he's completely dressed. He's got his faux hawk out. He's ready to go. A friend of the Bell family has also launched a GoFundMe campaign to supply the young DJ with a better rig. So apparently, they posted pictures of it, but Cale Bell, that's his name, threw down electronic bangers in his school's toilets. I can't even say the word, diminutive DJ's set lasted for 30 minutes, at which point his teachers at St. Anthony's Roman Catholic School
It's a Catholic
raided
school.
the party and confiscated his equipment.
Well, did it actually show him spinning?
It did.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what? Because I thought to myself, how would he be able to pull that off unless he got there early enough to avoid any suspecting glances from any of the teachers or staff?
I don't know. He's in the toilet.
Did he actually have like 2 speakers set up and like a DJ table set up? Or does it look like he just had a tablet and some maybe portable battery-powered speakers?
It's like a mini. It's like the size of a small laptop. His little spinners are.
Oh, okay.
It's an electronic one, so it's not like he has records on top of it.
Yeah.
And he's playing music through it, and then he spins his little spinners, and it does what a normal DJ thing would do.
My question was, how much were they charging for the X, and were there boys and girls at his bathroom rave?
I don't know if there were boys and girls at the bathroom rave. It didn't say, but I will tell you that he wasn't charging.
Oh, what, for X or for admission?
For admission. All right. Magic mushrooms grow in man's blood after injection with shroom tea.
Oh, it's shroom tea.
Mhm.
Okay.
A man brewed a tea from magic mushrooms and injected the concoction into his veins. Several days later, he ended up at the emergency department with the fungus growing inside of his blood. The man spent 22 days in the hospital, with 8 of those days in intensive care, where he received treatment for multi-system organ failure. Now released, he is still being treated with a long-term regimen of antibiotics and antifungal drugs, according to a description of the case published on January 11th. The case didn't reveal whether injecting shroom tea can cause persistent psychoactive effects, as sometimes seen when people ingest the fungus orally. The doctors wrote in the report, for example, in rare cases, people can develop a condition called hallucinogen-induced persisting perception disorder. Never heard of it. HPPD. Where they experience vivid flashbacks of their trip long after the fact. The case underscores the need for ongoing public education regarding dangers attendant to the use of this and other drugs in ways other than they are prescribed, the doctor said. Sorry, but I don't think anybody prescribes magic mushrooms to anybody.
No.
I mean, I might be wrong. Unless they're going to a field and saying, "Doctor, yes, sir."
See, I've never done any hallucinogens in my life, and my friends are insistent that I'm on shrooms whenever they see me, and they try to get me to try. Oh, they try to convince me to try them too, and they said they don't show up on a drug test, dude. It's like the equivalent of drug testing you for a salad or something. I'm like, man, wouldn't know where to get them to begin with anyway.
Well, maybe if you cut your hair.
What do you mean, what if I cut my hair? What does that have to do with anything?
That's what makes you look like a druggie.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever, dude. This is 2020. This isn't 1980.
What are you, 70 years old, Alex? Seriously?
Cut your hair, you damn hippie.
Older than that. My parents are 70 years old, and they were part of the hippie
Okay,
revolution.
what are you, 90 years old, Alex?
Yeah, there you go.
Might as well be. What's it to you?
What's it
What's
to
it
you?
to you, sonny?
Okay. So now we're going into our conspiracies, and I just want to let you know that I'm going to be using other words instead of the words that I'm reading here.
So we don't
so that we don't have any kind of weird algorithm attached to our podcast.
Yeah, or strikes against us, God forbid.
So
don't want to be part of that at all.
I'm going to go over 3 conspiracy theories that just won't go away. And this one I thought was hilarious. I have never heard of this one.
Okay.
And it made me laugh because I was like, seriously? There's not enough of this in this country yet, according to your friend, to have really caused this issue. But we'll go with it. We're going to call this the fandemic, okay?
The fandemic.
The fandemic.
Okay.
All right. After a new strand of morbid led by the fandemic in 2020, conspiracy theories emerged about everything from the origin to the latest medicine and treatments. Conspiracy theorists suggest that the new 5G wireless broadband standard may have caused or spread the morbid, leading arsonists in the UK to set 5G towers on fire. Some conspiracists suggested that the coronavirus was created. Oh, I said it, didn't I?
That's okay.
Let me start over. The morbid was created, and you can strike that, was created in a Chinese lab as an attempt to create a bioweapon against enemies. And that one I've heard.
Okay.
The 5G one, I was like, what is this nonsense?
Yeah, that's electronic signals.
Anything's possible, though, babe.
Hey, just FYI, just go on, because once it's said, it's said. You can't go back and post and fix the YouTubes.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he could.
Not the YouTubes. We're streaming live.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. China suggested that the U.S. military members visiting the place that brought the virus to China, even one of the technology company's founders, BG, couldn't escape conspiracist scrutiny. One theory suggested that the billionaire, who has spent much of his post-technology life investing in health initiatives is underserved areas of the globe, was responsible for creating it in order to profit off the vaccine. Because, you know, there's all those rumors going around that they did a simulation of what this actual pandemic would have caused, and it was a lot smaller than what it has turned into.
What it's actually become. Yeah.
I heard that they did this scenario a year in advance of the pandemic.
They did. It says, for a while, many Americans bought into the mistaken idea that the morbid was a politically motivated hoax meant to take down good old PT, or that it was a virus akin to the flu and therefore not a big deal, even though big deal is relative. The flu kills anywhere from 10,000 to 60,000 people a year.
Yeah.
Both of these suggestions were amplified by the conservative people, including PT. As for treatment and prevention, conspiracy theorists suggested that masks would somehow awaken a dormant morbid living inside people's bodies. Others suggested that drinking or injecting bleach would cure the disease.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't think that that's still sticking around.
No.
I haven't heard that, and I don't think people are really that stupid. I mean, I know there are stupid people out there, but you kind of learn from a really, really young age that bleach is not a good deal.
Mm-hmm. And should only be used in certain cleaning applications and washing your whites.
Exactly.
Your white clothes.
The most recent theories argue that the medicine contains a microchip to allow the government to monitor us, and that the medicine, which uses mRNA, will alter people's DNA, or that people's immune systems are far better than any vaccine. Now, I'm going to say that I wouldn't say it mutates your DNA. It does mess with your messenger RNA.
Yeah, your RNA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and sometimes I agree with your immune system is far better than any vaccine. However, if you're older, and I mean, when I mean older and you have health issues, your immune system isn't all that great, so it's not going to fight it off.
Oh, right. Which is why, at least in Tarrant County, people over the age of, I think, 60 or 70, 65 or 75 are placed on the first phase, especially and those that have health conditions.
So those are the conspiracy theories, along with Morbid, the Fandemic. Then here's
Hubert.
another conspiracy theory. What do I name these people?
Hubert.
Cubert.
The Cuberts?
Cubert goes mainstream.
Cuberts and coilies. That was a snake.
Cubert, a disproven, they say it's disproven, but I'm going to come back and say that's some bull poo. A disproven conspiracy theory involving an alleged global child trafficking ring used to be associated with the far fringy right. In 2020, though, it gained new life, as well as two mouthpieces in a newly elected U.S. Congress who could amplify the message further. Okay. So, with that being said, what were all the arrests done in 2018 for in Hollywood over child trafficking? What were all the people coming from China about child trafficking, and Germany? What was all of that in 2018?
Yeah,
Hundreds of people.
I'm sure there were other countries involved in it too.
Yeah, there were. There were hundreds of people
the
arrested.
And the biggest one in Hollywood was of course Harvey Weinstein, and of course the bring down of Nexium too.
Well, don't forget about Jeffrey Epstein, who didn't kill himself.
Oh yeah. Well, I was just talking about Hollywood. I mean, Epstein, he was like more of I guess
He was Hollywood too.
Well, he was based in New York, yeah.
Private island.
So don't tell me that there is not a global child sex trafficking ring, because there 100% is, and children are still coming up missing, and they're still being trafficked.
Why would Ashton Kutcher be heading up a nonprofit about it?
Exactly.
Yeah, he's had that for a while now.
Exactly, he knew about it. So
yeah, he quit acting to run that organization.
That is not a conspiracy theory. That is a truth.
Yeah,
that came
that's
out
fact.
to be truth and fact. But what they're saying is that it's mainly on. It says Cubert theories describe PT as a savior figure elected to end the nefarious activities, all of which have been perpetrated by the left naturally, and bring alleged members to justice. Who might you ask? Oprah Winfrey, Tom Hanks, Hillary, and Bill Clinton, and a raft of other high-profile, big-ticket Democratic donors. Okay, so with that, I don't know. I don't know about those people, but I do know there was a lot of people in Hollywood that got brought down.
Yeah, there were.
The conspiracy theory should have died when it first emerged in 2016, naturally the year that PT was elected. But 2020 saw politicians and churchgoers alike revive parts of it. Well, sorry to hear that, but it is what it is. It's happening in the world right now, and it hasn't stopped. It's continuing. If children stopped getting abducted and nobody knew where they were, then this would be a non-issue. If children were mistreated, this would be a non-issue, but it's happening.
Yeah. I've also heard some other conspiracy theories about how the pandemic that we're in is actually a media cover up for basically the U.S. The U.S. setting up a panel a panel-based interim government for Venezuela to allow a fair to basically run the country. So the Nicolas Maduro and Juan Guaido, who's the guy that ran against him in the opposition party, to actually have a fair election. So
I'm gonna
and or to oust Nicolas Maduro.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that at that. And I'm gonna come over and talk about the newest.
There was also that theory about the pandemic being more like the Thanos theory.
Yeah. That's true.
There we
What
go.
I mean by that, RoboTuner?
I just snapped my fingers. What?
Just the lowering the population for.
Oh yeah, for the world in general. Yeah, I can see that, but it hasn't been nearly that detrimental to the world's population as a whole.
I haven't found that article I read that was a conspiracy theory that either it was a video I watched or an article I read that talked about the different countries on the globe, and that the USA was just a throwaway country where they threw a bunch of people because the elite wanted to come here and hunt people, and that it's still in the plan, and that eventually they're going to kill us all off and then just leave a chosen few so that the elite can come over here and hunt us and kill us.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's totally against the Geneva Convention. And that concept alone is hilarious because it reminds me of the movie Hostel. Have you ever seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that came out in, I think, 05 or 06 or so. Eli Roth directed it.
I'm sorry, but don't we have the most obese population on the planet?
Well,
what the hell would they benefit from chasing a bunch of fat guys around the cities?
Well,
yeah, they wouldn't.
The easy kills. It's the
it would be too
harder
easy.
ones. They're gonna leave people here and let them live, but.
So if you're fat, you're safe.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
no, you're not safe. You're dead immediately. You're just immediately dead. You can't run. Bam, you're out.
Yeah, well, and then I think about the movie Hostel because it just wasn't about people openly hunting random people in the middle of this great in the middle of the metropolitan area that the movie took place in, which was I think it was Slovakia or Slovenia, one of those countries. Anyway, but they actually had people that would scout out their prey, and they would say, "Hey, hey, you should stay at this place. They got this going on, and hey, these are the chicks that I hooked up from that exact hotel. You should go there and tell them that we sent you." And then they lure them to an abandoned building. They're made captive, and then they're tortured and maimed and killed. And the people that are actually doing the torturing and the maiming are the ones that actually paid the organization to bring them in.
That's a little different from this scenario.
Yeah.
These people are running around and hiding from the elite, trying not to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but anyway, my next and my last one is about aliens again. I just wanted to bring it up. Remember how I said that PT wanted to come out and tell everybody that aliens were real?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I told you that the previous Israeli foreign minister said that aliens were real?
Yeah. Haim something. Yeah.
Yeah. So today I found out that the Canadian foreign minister came out and said aliens were real.
The current or a former?
The former.
Former, okay.
Said the aliens were real and that there were 80 different species that we communicate with and know about so far.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, if communicating and being able to actually hold a conversation and or understand their language is a totally different thing, though.
I really want...
But picking up on their communication signals, that's huge.
Well, and then there is a comet that's coming around, and it's making weird movements. And then there's also different communication noises coming from space right now that are starting to be more intentional, it seems. We're hearing a lot of different things. And then the CIA released a bunch of UFO files. And also, your friend Dustin sent me a bunch of files that were WikiLeaks or CIA files talking about all kinds of different things about aliens. I haven't gone over every single thing. Some of them I clicked on, they were missing, and some of them I clicked on and they were there.
Well, did you see the article on NBC News? This is on NBC News.
The one you just posted in chat?
Yeah.
I know that
Former
was,
Israeli space security chief says extraterrestrials exist.
that's when we
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about last week.
Trump knows about it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's on NBC News.
Yeah, it is. I'm telling you, it's they're conditioning us. They've been conditioning us for years. At first it was scary stuff, and then they've turned it into they're friendly with us. And if you'll notice, a lot more of the alien movies are friendly movies.
Yeah, and not like Independence Day.
Yeah.
Or War of the Worlds. Yeah, War of the Worlds is really what started it.
Yeah.
Aliens being an enemy and an invasive force, not one that actually just wants to be diplomatic or coexist. Alienation was like that too. I think that was the first movie that I actually saw where aliens coexisted with humans on Earth, and they got drunk off sour milk. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a movie, and then it was also adapted into a short-lived TV series.
I don't know what this one movie was that I watched, but it was a bunch of people in a circle in a room, and they had to prove their intentions by not lying. They couldn't lie.
Oh, so
And if it was like they couldn't lie, and if they lied, they died. And what would happen is they were in this dark room, and the circle would go around, and it would land on someone, and then it would kill them, and they would disappear. And so it was like it was coming around, and it got down to one person in the room.
Oh yeah, isn't that the movie where it takes place just in that one room the entire time?
That's what I said.
And it's like a red. And,
yes.
Okay.
And then at the very end, the
Red lighting.
last person in that UFO who's alive gets to be transported back to Earth and lives because they were reducing the population.
That reminds me of Among Us. You know. Yeah. Or that one Jackbox game where we were playing where you had to find out which one was the alien or on the crew.
Yeah.
That also reminds me of The Thing too, which that was a Stephen King book, wasn't it? Before it was a movie.
You are reminded by the weirdest movies for that. The Thing has nothing to do with a circle of people trying to stay alive.
No. What I'm talking about is that movie is about aliens for one, impersonating people, and there was that famous scene in the movie where Kurt Russell's character had blood samples from all the crew, which were all tied up except for him and one other person. And the way that he could tell who's an alien is that he took a little heated wire, and if he put it in their blood sample and it didn't react and like jump out and become animated, he knew that they were a person. But once that happened, he would he knew who was an alien.
No, that reminds me of Horton Hears a Who.
Anyway,
but
that's what I have for you today.
Well, very interesting. I always like talking about these. There's so many conspiracy theories. You don't know what's true. That was from.
Matt's gonna come up with a theme about.
No, that wasn't from me. That was from Hadougan from the Bed Files from the Here Comes COVID clause where they gave our show a shout out in one of the verses.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready for Stump the Robotuner?
AKA Robotuner versus the idiots, as Alex put it today.
Oh wow.
The idiots try to beat Robotuner.
I'm not going to say that and make people feel like idiots. But secretly, I'm going to say it.
Well, not as an official title, no.
Okay, so
now it's out there. Now it's got to be.
So there's no delay.
Whatever.
There's no delay.
No delay.
Right. Everybody say when I say 1, 2, 3, you say your names, okay?
Okay, so do a practice run. Say 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Robotuner.
Alex. Robotuner. Oh, that's not my name.
Hold on, let me try it again. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Robotuner.
Okay.
Oh, there is a delay.
There is a delay. Okay, so why don't we do it the same way that we did last week, where we just take turns and go clockwise from the video.
All right, I'm gonna do 10 questions.
From the video feed. Yeah.
You ready?
Ready.
Nice scatting again.
Who is often called the father of the computer?
Whose question is this?
Oh, I know this one.
We'll go. Sorry, y'all. Guess a number from 1 to 10.
Okay, 9.
2.
7.
Well, who goes first?
Kenneth. Sorry. The Thunder K goes first.
Thunder K.
So, who is often called the father of the computer?
The hell is his name?
I know this.
I do, but well,
right.
I'm gonna say Thunder K. Alan Turing.
No.
He is one of the, but the guy I know the guy's name.
Okay, and it goes to who? Me or Alex?
You.
Okay. I forfeit my turn because I have no idea.
Alex.
Alexander Graham Bell.
No.
No, he invented the light bulb.
It's Charles Babbage.
I knew that.
Oh, damn. Yeah, because of Babbage's, which was actually part of what is now known as GameStop Incorporated.
Are we gonna skip over the fact that RoboTuner just got a complete fun fact wrong?
Why?
Alexander Graham Bell did not create the light bulb. He created the telephone.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I did get that wrong. I was thinking of Thomas Edison, damn it. Yeah, Alexander Graham Bell did invent the telephone.
Hey, he can correct us all day long, but one time we correct him, it's like a cardinal sin.
Okay.
I'm not chastising you. You're right.
He was chastising me.
All right, this is for you, RoboTuner.
Oh, that's for me? Okay. I'm ready.
What does HTTP stand for?
Hypertext something protocol. Okay, hold on. God, this is so fucking basic. Damn it, I'm blanking on the exact name. Okay, hypertext telephone transfer protocol?
No.
No. Okay.
Okay. Alex?
I know I'm not gonna get this one right, so I forfeit.
Thunder K.
Hypertext Transport Protocol.
Trans what?
Transport.
Transport Protocol.
No.
That is what it is.
It's
Sorry.
Hypertext Transfer Protocol.
Transfer. Okay. Well.
I don't think that's right, actually.
I disagree.
Okay, well, let's look it up. HTTP. What does HTTP
meaning
stand
for
in computer terms? Hypertext. Oh, it says transfer protocol. Weird.
Okay. So nobody gets that one. Next. Next question, baby.
I'm going.
These all like
Okay.
dummy questions.
Trying
No,
to fill
I'm
dead
going
air.
to science now.
Okay.
All right.
God, I hate science.
What do you hate?
As a subject, I nearly failed it in college.
Okay, this is for you, Thunder K.
Wait,
No, this is Alex. It's Alex. Sorry.
It's Alex's turn.
I know.
Yeah.
I just said it's Alex.
She corrected herself.
Thank you.
You're not allowed to do that. We gotta chastise you before we can let you correct yourself. Jeez.
What is the symbol for potassium?
Oh my goodness. Alex K.
Correct.
Yes.
I've never heard of a potassium being Alex K.
Ding.
Hey, I'm on the board.
Okay, so this one would go to Thunder K.
Okay.
Which planet has the most gravity?
Gravity. Thunder K would be Jupiter.
Correct.
Yeah.
How did you know that?
It has the most mass.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not Uranus.
Oh,
God dang.
Sushi's anus has the most gravity on Earth.
Whatever. Y'all kiss my ass. All right.
Yo, kiss my Uranus.
Which company? No, I can't tell you this one.
Okay. Whose question is this? Mine?
Yes, this is yours.
It's yours.
Okay. How many parts, screws and bolts included, does the average car have?
The average car. So, hold on. Damn.
Redonkulous question.
That sneeze was not my
Okay,
answer.
fine. In what year? Okay,
Wait,
don't
no.
answer that one.
Oh, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about answering it. Unless you have another one you wanted to read.
Well, I was going to say, in what year was the Corvette introduced?
Oh, the Corvette? Oh, Jesus. Your mom's husband would know this right off the bat because he has 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a stab. 1961?
No.
Okay.
Alex?
1957.
No.
Thunder K?
1956.
No.
When was it?
1953.
1953. Okay.
Ah, it was
I didn't think
close.
they were introduced till the 60s.
No, they had the Corvette Stingrays back in the 50s.
Okay.
All right, Alex.
You'd know one if you saw one because they just look like really fancy Chevrolets.
Alex, what is the primary ingredient in hummus?
Shh.
Uh,
Don't give it away.
Don't you tell him.
well,
Okay.
spice.
No. Thunder K.
Chipped peas.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
Never fucking heard that.
All
She
right.
made it for you, and
Is it Thunder
You
K's
did.
turn?
I like hummus that much.
Yeah,
yeah, it's my turn.
Okay.
because that was Alex's.
Which country invented tea?
China.
Correct.
I knew that one too.
Okay. RoboTuner.
Yes.
Which country produces the most coffee in the world?
God dang it!
Brazil.
Yes, you got it right.
You had the one specifically for me,
You know
didn't
what?
you?
She's giving him easy. She's still. This game is bullshit.
He's gotten one. He's gotten one right. I asked him how many car parts were they. How am I making it easy for him?
Then you took that one away.
And then I
How
asked
many
him
bolts?
which.
Yeah.
I said which year was a Corvette originally introduced in? How's that an easy one? Get
Yeah,
out of here.
that
with
wasn't.
Your... Listen. I know that you've been through a lot in the last year, in the last at least 2 months, but it's not happening here. Okay.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. Don't ask
This-
me.
This is not rigged. Okay.
Okay.
Unlike other things, this is not rigged.
Yeah. Yeah. You're done with that. You're done with rigging trivia.
All right. What are we at right now?
We have 8 questions done.
Okay. Who's next? I can't remember.
Matt.
No, it's Alex. It's Alex's next.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it is.
Which bone are babies born without?
Which bone are babies born without?
That's correct.
The femur.
No. Thunder K.
The skull? I don't
No.
know. 'Cause I know they have a soft spot, so part of their skull at least.
Nope.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, not the entire skull, but the top of the skull is
Well, Thunder K said that, and I said no. So
cranium.
now it's your turn.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to guess the coccyx.
No.
Where'd you hear that one, Matt? Or Robotutor?
Huh, weird.
Kneecap. It's a kneecap.
And kneecaps. Oh, okay.
Ah.
Yeah, that makes sense because infants don't really bend their knees.
All right, last question.
So Tanya Harding couldn't take out a baby.
Aw.
Or her bodyguard. It was her bodyguard that actually did it. It wasn't her. She just conspired.
Let's see what else.
Why me? Why me?
All right, whose question is this one?
Mine.
All right. Which 2 countries share the longest international border?
I think you may have asked this one before.
I've never asked this one.
Thought you have.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Canada and the United States.
Correct. Okay, who won?
Thunder K won.
Wow.
3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks.
This game is rigged. I refuse to believe he won.
Well, what
know
was
what?
what was the
All
score? What was the score?
4-1-1.
Wow.
I
Okay.
just saved y'all the 411.
Well, congratulations, Thunder K, on
I'm
stumping
a
the
lot harder
RoboTuner.
to deal with when I'm not on, mind memory erasing drugs.
All right.
And what drugs would those be? Prescription?
Yeah, that medicine I used to be on, that clonazepam.
Oh, okay. I
was,
didn't. Okay, I thought you meant something you're taking now. Okay, one of your new
No.
ones.
No. That's a whole other story I might share next time.
Okay. Yeah,
That
your
was a
your
crazy
adventures
story.
and medication switching. All right. Well, this was a fun. Well, that was a fun round to stump the RoboTuner. So I say let's get out of here for the evening and the week. And thanks so much for listening. Anyone out there that happens to be. If you have any stories you'd like for us to cover or anything you'd like for us to talk about for that matter, you can send us an email at robotuner2020@gmail.com. Again, that's robotuner2020@gmail.com. You can also call and leave us a voicemail at 682-325-1379. That's U.S. area country code 1. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The RoboTuner, and we are live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central U.S. Standard Time on YouTube for live streams. And you can also check out our previous videos there as well as my music from my debut album of Greetings, also available on every platform out there that's streamable or downloadable music. All right. We're going to get the Fizz-Nuck out of here. Hopefully this time, by our next show, we'll have a bathtub we can actually use. To be continued. All right. We're out of here. Red Pants.
Bye.
Okay.
Goodbye to you two.
Goodbye.
Yep. Thanks, live stream, for anyone who may or may not be in there. Nobody commented in the chat except you, Thunder K.
There was like a third person in there. Hey, were you in the chat too, Kenneth?
Yeah, I was in the chat. I sent chat.
Oh, that's right. So there was third person off and on in there.
Well, wouldn't that be you, Shelly?
There's just the two of us.